News break coming in. Republic TV has accessed a video from the Anantnag encounter site where India's forces today gunned down 4 ISIS terrorists. For the first time, Jammu and Kashmir police has also admitted the presence of the Islamic State in the valley. They've neutralized ISIS terror commander Dawood and his aides as well in this encounter. One Jammu and Kashmir cop has been martyred in this attack as well. Zeenat Zishan, my colleague, joins me live from Srinagar. Zeenat, massive development. First of all, a massive victory for India's forces. And for the first time, Jammu and Kashmir police has admitted the presence of ISIS in the valley.
Yes, this is a development coming from the Jammu and Kashmir police that finally they have accepted that ISIS presence in the valley, because earlier they have been saying that there are rumors, there can be a few footprint, but nobody was officially confirming. But now it has been confirmed by the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, Dr. SP Vaid, because we have been seeing earlier also in the videos the flags they used to carry, the messages coming from the ISIS, but everybody was denying such reports. But now it is a confirmation that ISIS presence, but at the same time one ISIS militant from the HMT has been identified in this encounter. The rest of the 3 dead bodies are yet to be identified. The identity is being ascertained and the arms and ammunition have been recovered from the encounter site, and the operation is over. Though in South Kashmir massive stone pelting and the clashes were witnessed since the news was carried that there is an encounter going on in a Sirgufara area. Many people received bullet injuries and also one civilian lost their life. Jammu and Kashmir cop lost his life in an encounter, and also many people received the bullet injuries. Some have received the other injuries, but yes, the clashes are still on, and this is an encounter. The massive encounter was launched only after the Governor Vora took over the reins of Jammu and Kashmir, and as the security forces have given a signal that they will be going absolutely tough on the anti-militancy operation, because the ceasefire that was announced by the government of India during the month of Ramzan saw a lot of bloodshed, civilians killings and the targeted killings, the grenade attacks. So that was more like it was more like the security forces were not able to carry the massive anti-militancy operations because their hands were handcuffed. But now the operation ceasefire is over, and the security forces are going every way to neutralize the militants and to get the situation back on track, because the Kashmir situation is really tense and boiling, and a first test for the Governor Vora is to restore peace on ground.
Zeenat continues to be with us. Zeenat, we are getting another massive news break coming in. Stay with us for this as well. Republic TV has now accessed a second video from the encounter site which shows terror backers attacking the army personnel after this encounter. These are visuals on your screen at the moment. Now forces have shown massive restraint amidst great provocation and attacks by these pelters. In this video, we can also hear pro-Zakir Musa slogans. Now, this comes after a massive victory for India's terror forces, India's security forces against terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir today. 4 ISIS terrorists were neutralized. But here we see some terror backers attacking the Indian army. But massive restraint once again shown by the Indian army despite massive provocation and despite the end of the ceasefire as well. Zeenat continues to be with us. Zeenat, provocation. Indian army provoked, attacked, pro-terrorist slogans shouted. But once again in this video we can see massive restraint shown by the army against civilians.
Yes, this is a visual that has been exclusively accessed by our channel that shows that how at the time when the army is withdrawing from an encounter scene, the people, the locality that has been gathered there, they are trying to hit their vehicles, shouting slogans in favor of Azadi and the Musa. And despite that, the army is withdrawing in a very silent and a cool manner, because once the operation is over, the main concern for the security personnel are always that they have to leave the spot without any collateral damage, without any casualty. Despite there have been a provocation, but so far they have been able to leave the spot. The search operations are over, the encounter is over, this operation has been suspended. But yes, the clashes were witnessed in many parts of the South Kashmir, and now needs to be seen after the prayers are over, the Friday prayers, which is always a big challenge for the Jammu and Kashmir police and the CRPF when post Friday we've witnessed the clashes, and this is the first Friday after the governor rule took over.
Absolutely. Zenith, stay with us. Also joining us is our associate editor, Aditya Raj. Call on this. Aditya, first of all, massive victory for India's security forces. 4 ISIS terrorists have been neutralized in the valley today. But this video that we are showing all our viewers at the moment shows the restraint Indian army is still showing in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, ceasefire has ended. The governor's rule is on. Operation All Out is on. Indian forces are cracking down on the terrorists, but still they continue to show massive restraint in the valley despite being provoked. Aditya, over to you.
That's right, Shobhit. That's the greatness of the Indian Army, the CRPF and the J&K police as well. The kind of restraint they show in trying circumstances as well. But first come first, it's a big development coming in. Top sources confirming to Republic TV now from the J&K police, army and the CRPF that Dawood Sofi, who was the chief of the Islamic State of Jammu and Kashmir, the ISIS, has been eliminated. It's a big development coming in. The chief of the ISIS has been killed. Dawood Sofi, also known as Burhan Musab, has been eliminated by the forces in Anantnag of South Kashmir. In fact, I just spoke to the SSP, Altaf Ahmed Khan, and senior officials who were present on the encounter site. They also confirmed that there are identities of 3 other terrorists of the ISIS, which is being ascertained right now. But top sources also tell us that they could be Adil, Majid and Ahmed, who have been active along with Burhan Musab or Dawood Sofi. Now, he is a person who was recruited from HMT in Srinagar and has been active for some time across South Kashmir. He was also involved with Isa Fazli as well as Mughis. These were 2 ISIS terrorists who were earlier killed by J&K police and the Indian Army in November and March respectively. So it's a big success coming in for the forces on the 3rd day of governor's rule in Jammu and Kashmir, even as there's an all-party meeting that will be meeting at around 4:30 p.m. at the Raj Bhavan in Srinagar. A massive victory for the J&K police, Indian Army and the CRPF in the form of this operation that was swiftly and smoothly conducted in about 6 to 8 hours and massive restraint being shown. Also, I would like to point out that the kind of stone pelting incidents and violence that we witnessed earlier have drastically reduced by 60%. That's what top sources indicate to us even today. While there were incidents of stone pelting and violence, it wasn't as massive as was witnessed in South Kashmir earlier. So the forces are very much positive. The DGP is also very much positive and has praised the boys who were part of this encounter. So it's a massive victory coming in for the forces, even as the radical separatists continue to be Pakistan proxies and instigate violence in Jammu and Kashmir.
Absolutely. Aditya, also major significant development happening there. Jammu and Kashmir for the first time has admitted the presence of Islamic State in the valley. I mean, highly significant development that Jammu and Kashmir has admitted that as well. Right. We've seen ISIS flags in the valley, but for the first time, ISIS terrorists have also been neutralized.
Absolutely, Shobhit. You make it very, important point because earlier there have been at least 4 attacks of the ISIS in the Kashmir
stay with
Valley.
us. B.S. Jaiswal joins us on the phone line. Sir, a massive victory for India's forces. 4 ISIS terrorists have been neutralized by India's forces, sir, today, including their commander, Dawood. First of all, congratulations to Indian forces. But how troubling is it that we have an ISIS footprint now in Jammu and Kashmir?
Firstly, I also congratulate the security forces, the army, for having neutralized these. But this has got very dangerous proponents in the valley if ISIS footprints have been found. I think the earlier we finish off all ISIS modules operating in the valley, I think the better it is. But more disturbing is that army, after the operation, the stone pelters have once again come out and they are instigating the army, we're pushing them, etc., etc. Army is still exercising restraint, but that will be up to a point. These people don't realize that, but it's a big success.
Absolutely, sir. Lieutenant General.
Go all out.
B.S. Jaiswal, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It was a huge victory for India's forces today in the valley.